See, a lot of the great guys are boring. And you don't like that. You want the tingles up and down your spine. You want your socks in a bunch. And the more that you have the mindset of dating, when you go into the first date, like, oh, he better do something he needs to win me over, the less likely these guys are gonna win you over, because they're boring. They got all the other shit together, but they don't bring you up and down like a roller coaster. They don't make you go crazy. They don't bring the drama into your life. And some of y'all are just so addicted to the goddamn drama that you love game. You say you hate game. Oh, I hate when guys got game, but you reward game. You reward the whole chemistry game. A lot of guys do this. They play game. Oh, come on, girl. They bring you up and down the roller coaster. They bring you out and about. They get you excited. They bring the drama to your life, and you reward that. Short term. But then long term, you look for the good guys. The good guys you just had. He was just a little too boring for you. Ladies, you can't have it all at once. Let's just get to the point. You can't have it all at once. You have to pick and choose the important things. What's most important? He brings you on a tingle ride and gets your socks in a bunch. Or he's stable in everything else.
You know what debate I'm tired of having? Why girls like bad boys. And that always, and have you not noticed that always comes from the guy who's the typical good guy? Let me tell you why good guys finish last. Good guys usually finish last because they're not able to be in a relationship and be in a relationship. They are for the relationship. They are too busy trying to show you why they are such a great guy instead of just being your guy. Everyone wants to be in a relationship where they feel like that person is their soulmate. That person is their person. That person understands them. Nobody wants to be in a relationship with somebody that is just like, all you're doing is constantly trying to, oh, I know this may sound bad, but constantly trying to please me instead of just actually getting to know who I am. It's like, do you even know who you're trying to please? Do you? Good guys always want to remind us, like, I'm such a faithful guy. I will never cheat on my girl. I'm too loyal. It's like, thank you for the basics. But what else are you? You provide security, and 100% we need that. Anybody needs that. Everybody needs that. But it's like, give something else that separates you from every single other guy. You don't do that. You're boring. Sorry, mate. You are boring, and that's grounds to not be wanted. Like, I hate to say this, but you guys are boring. There is no spice, no sauce, no nothing. It's just goodness. Goodness. Every day, wake up in the morning and stare at you. Pure goodness. But it's like, do you even listen to my stories? Do you even make me laugh? Do you know how to cook? Like, what else are you other than this guy? I'm sorry, but that's just my thoughts at the end of the day.
Spoken thing that I think more people need to talk about is that when you're in a long-term relationship, apparently this woman is in one, lots of children as well, is that people never prepare you that if you're in a long-term and monogamous relationship, there is a monotony that kicks in and nobody warns you. How are you going to face the day when you're like, wow, safe and secure and healthy is also sometimes really boring.
Thank you.
And I think there's a reality there that a lot of people don't get. There are no classes for that. And no, the answer is not an affair.
6 reasons why choosing the good guy feels like choosing the boring guy. 1, because movies, TV shows, and books romanticize the bad boy or mysterious outsider archetype. This portrayal can make rebellious or unpredictable behaviors seem attractive or thrilling when really it's not. 2, unpredictable or challenging behaviors can stimulate our brains in a way that is perceived as exciting or novel. Predictable and steady behaviors that create harmony, on the other hand, might be viewed as monotonous. 3, drama and emotional highs and lows can sometimes be confused with passion or depth in relationship. But remember, intensity does not equal intimacy. 4, because at this stage in your life, you might be attracted to situations or people that make you feel like you're rebelling against societal norms, which is an important stage, but be careful because you might get attached and feel stuck in this stage, which might suck. 5, sometimes you might feel undeserving of someone who treats you well, or you might associate love with pain or challenge due to past experiences. 6, you might think that the bad boy traits are indicators of confidence or strength, which, I don't know, could be, but also might be fueled by insecurity and low self-esteem.
Healthy relationships be boring as sometimes. Like when you really start to find your, like I'm saying this as fresh in the 30s. I got a new appreciation for boring, my right. I got a whole new appreciation for not just being able to sit the down with me and mine and not have nothing, ain't on fire, don't nobody need me to leave the house, I'm good. So while you young, yeah, it seemed like you want exciting every day, but I'm a caution you, because thing too, like the caution, when you always looking for excitement from your relationship, you gonna start expecting the person across from you to perform for your entertainment, you feel me? And that's not nobody's job, bruh.
Yes, it is. Like, tap dance.
Like if y'all wanna add new layers to y'all relationship because the old shit ain't working, you need to figure out ways to become a new person. You know what I'm saying? Do some new shit in your own life so your partner got some new shit to learn, and let them do some new in their own life, so you got some shit to learn. But actual excitement, bro, that ain't their job to provide that for you.
Date the guy that you think he may be boring. Your nervous system keeps getting attracted to chaotic energy, keeps looking for the sparks flying. If that sounds like you, listen to this. Might be about time to self-reflect and find out why you keep choosing chaos. So instead of going for the guy with the hot and cold energy, choose the guy who's constant. Choose the guy who makes you feel seen, not the guy who chooses to see everyone else but you. Choose the guy who communicates plans, not the guy who hits you up last minute. Choose the guy who pursues you, not the one who leaves you. Choose the guy who makes you feel peace, not chaos. So that guy you thought was boring, he's not boring. He's just not into games. He's safe, secure, constant. He knows what he wants.
Is he boring as a man, or are you just used to chaos and dysfunction as a woman? Is he boring as a man, or are you just lacking a personality as a woman? Or you lack hobbies as a woman? Follow my reasoning. In my observation, I've noticed that anytime women brand a man as boring, society is programmed to just accept and believe them. But I've always questioned this branding. He's boring from women, because especially when you're a grown woman, when you are above 25 upwards, and you still disqualify men for being boring, I look at you suspiciously, because okay, fine, he has things, he does hobbies, he has interests that does not interest you as a woman. If you as a woman had your own personality, if you as a woman had your own hobbies, why would that affect you? Because since he has his own interests and his hobbies and his personality, clearly, you could branch off and do your own thing and then meet later as a couple. Or you could communicate to him, hey, I want us to do these things. I feel like it's something you can work out. Does that make sense? It's something you can work out. But if you are a grown woman above 25 and you disqualify a grown man because he's boring, I just look at you suspiciously. I don't even look at the man suspiciously. I look at you suspiciously, because like, you couldn't work it out, you couldn't figure something out. Really? And also, I've noticed in my own experience, anytime women call a guy boring, it's oftentimes that guy just brings peace and stability to the table. He just doesn't like drama. He just most likely doesn't like drama. He just doesn't like stress. Let's be real. Some women are not used to having a good experience with men. Some women don't know what it's like to have a caring, empathetic, present man in their life. They're not used to it. They're just not. Either it could come from their childhood, maybe their father wasn't present. It could come from maybe the men they've dated just didn't give a shit about them. They were not there emotionally, they were not there physically. So when she sees a guy that's the opposite of what she's used to, she's going to tag him as boring because she doesn't know what it is. It's happened to me before. I'm speaking from experience. I've been called boring before, and it used to bother me, especially in my early 20s. Like, boring. And I used to be very insecure. But then, the more I did some work on myself, and I look back, I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. I had my own hobbies. I had my own life. I just didn't like stress. I just didn't like drama, man. I don't have time for that. Why would I choose chaos and dysfunction with a woman when I can choose peace? So that I can stay focused on my purpose. So that I can stay focused on building myself up. Why? But then when I look back, I realize that some women don't know what it's like. They see peace, calm, clear communication as boring. Because what they are used to is chaos, dysfunction, fights, arguments. He said, she said, he fucked my best friend, he fucked this person, he's doing drugs, he's going to jail, he's been this, he fights. That's what they are used to. And you have some women, they are drawn to that. They love that drama. So if you're a man and you've been tagged boring by women, especially grown women, and you know you have a life, you know you have your personality, you know you have your things going on for you, don't get insecure. Don't let those things pull you down. There's a lot of women out there that instead of taking accountability for their own lack of personality, for their own lack of hobbies, for their own lack of character and lack of charisma for themselves, they would rather push this responsibility on the guy and just tag him boring and that's it. But you also got to keep in mind, if you're going to tag a guy boring, what does that say about you? Because that says to me you don't have a personality, honestly. That's what it says to me. You don't have a personality to build your own thing. So you need an entertainer. You need a dancing monkey. You need a guy that's going to be jumping all up and down for you to keep you entertained. But that's another thing. Because if you're a woman that has a personality of her own, you don't need me to entertain you. You don't need me to keep your attention. Does that make sense? I feel like that's why you have some women that are so attracted and drawn to chaotic guys, dysfunctional guys, because they lack their own self-esteem, they lack their own personality, they lack their own character, their own life. So they need a guy that's, this is up and down, up and down, up and down to keep them entertained, to keep them active, so that those girls will have something to talk about. So that those girls that lack their own self-esteem will have something to complain about. Because if you're a healed girl, a woman that has her own personality, has her own boundaries, you want to have your own thing. You want to have your own space. So a boring guy actually fits your plan. If you have your own life as a woman. Does that make sense, or am I thinking it too much?